Pay attention to football. Yes, exactly. Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns pulled out the same old playbook on Wednesday. Following a disastrous football season opener, the troubled quarterback faced the media for the first time since he was accused of the most serious sexual misconduct charge against him in a civil lawsuit, not football-related, which prompted a new NFL investigation. As was the case in 2022 when he made out-of-court agreements with 23 of 26 victims who accused impropriety during massage therapy sessions. Watson, 28, denied any wrongdoing. In fact, as his attorney, Rusty Hardin, said in a statement, he strongly denies the allegation. In addition to serving an 11-game ban, paying a $5 million fine, and going through therapy and counseling, he also reached an agreement with the NFL. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell described Watson's actions throughout a 15-month period from autumn 2019 through winter 2021 as predatory in 2022, echoing arbitrator Susan L. Robinson. However, like in this instance, the quarterback was never charged with a crime. If the league's investigation finds validity in the latest charges, Goodell will now have to consider some very important background evidence. NFL Stats Central. Up-to-date NFL schedules, stats, odds, and more. What a diversion, huh? The Browns, under the direction of Jimmy and Dee Haslam, the club owners, persevered with Watson through the last controversy. And this time around, the negative perception of their organization put their determination to the test once again. It could be crucial. The team tries to back out of the fully guaranteed $230 million contract it gave Watson when he was acquired from the Houston Texans in 2022, in what is now considered to be one of the most lopsided trades in NFL history. Coach Kevin Stefanski insisted on Wednesday that they didn't see this new case coming. Additionally, Watson said that he was unaware of the lawsuit's dismissal on Monday, which was filed in Harris County, Texas. He said, "I found out exactly when everyone else found out." His smartphone alerted him to the situation. "I called my attorneys and asked them what it was," Watson said. What would happen is that a plaintiff, known as Jane Doe, would claim that on October 10, 2020, in her Houston residence, Watson sexually attacked her. The purported event would take place concurrently with the supposed massage treatment sessions. Lawyer Tony Busby, who also represented the other accusers who reached settlements with Watson, released a statement stating that attempts were made 10 months ago to reach an out-of-court settlement, despite Watson's insistence on Wednesday that he was unaware of the new allegation, which demands at least $1 million in damages. Furthermore, as reported by Pro Football Talk, Busby has said that his client will assist the NFL in its investigation and be available for an interview with the organization in about 2 weeks. This could potentially result in the quarterback being suspended indefinitely, possibly breaking the league's personal conduct policy. NFL, there you have it. Sort things out in this chaos. The Miami Dolphins star Tyreek Hill was detained by police on Sunday morning as he was making his way to work at Hard Rock Stadium. If that incident wasn't enough to steal the limelight from the league's grand opening, the league is now facing another high-profile issue that has a significant impact on its reputation and news cycle. Yes, there are important, sensitive questions. Why was no criminal complaint filed? Did the other instances that were resolved out of court influence the demand for a 7-figure settlement? The night before a game, why would Watson accept a dinner date? Accentuate the game of football. If only. Whether you like it or not, it's a huge distraction that may drain the quarterback's energy, as well as that of a team hoping to build on last season's playoff participation. Watson said, "I concentrate on football," and questioned how it could not be a distraction. "I try to maintain the core idea, the forefront. And that's when I enter this building, intent on playing the best quarterback I can," sticking to the game plan and attempting to outperform our performance from the previous week in order to win. We are entirely focused on Jacksonville and traveling to face a strong football squad with the hopes of winning, Stefanski said. Although athletes who are experiencing personal difficulties have often said that they turn to competition as a familiar coping strategy, I find it very patronizing that Watson and the Browns would imply that his circumstances are simply divided. This is not the unexpected death of a close relative. Another accusation against the franchise's spokesperson lowers her credibility. Undoubtedly, handling it requires energy. Certainly, once the investigation process reopens, there will be a lot to talk about and resolve in private that won't be revealed in public. When asked whether he anticipated doing more interviews with NFL chief investigator Lisa Friel, Watson said, "It hasn't crossed my mind at the moment. Jacksonville is all that comes to mind, and in that case, the moment will come, regardless of what I have to do with the Browns or my legal counsel." You pay for what you get. That's a lesson for the Browns, especially the Haslams, who assumed the huge risk of insuring the contract of a quarterback who they knew carried the weight of almost 24 prior accusations of sexual misconduct. The contract language appears to allow the team to void the guarantees for the final 2 years, and presumably previous years, if Watson didn't notify the Browns of potential allegations, like the one that has now surfaced. After this season, Browns will still be obligated to pay $92 million. The NFL 2020 Association's perspective on the situation may also be crucial if the union challenges any potential discipline, on the grounds that Watson was the subject of an earlier investigation and punishment by the NFL, and that the current case is essentially a reopening of the same case, with the league having discovered the new bombshell during the earlier investigation. We'll see. However, it's important to remember that Robinson, a retired judge appointed by both the league and the players' union, distinguished between Watson's alleged offenses and non-violent sexual conduct when deciding on an initial 6-game suspension following the previous investigation, which was later modified following an NFL appeal. This time, assuming the lawsuit's accusations are accurate, it definitely exceeds what constitutes violent conduct. When the league reached a settlement with Watson through the NFLPA in 2022, it also stated that, although it would not discipline any further for the kinds of incidents that the massage therapists had alleged, it would retain the right to pursue cases that were materially different, as this new case appears to be. Watson will not be added to the commissioner's exempt list, since the civil lawsuit has just been filed and the NFL is just now starting its investigation. However, the league's statement demonstrates that they have previously discussed the possibility of it happening at Park Avenue headquarters. Next is the game of football. Watson has only appeared in 13 games in the more than 3 seasons that have passed since the 2020 season ended. Last season, he had surgery to treat a damaged shoulder, kept him out of 11 games. He missed 11 games in 2022 as a result of the ban. As the off-field problems surfaced in 2021, he was forced to miss the full season due to a contract disagreement with the Texans, which paved the way for his move to Cleveland. There's a lot of rust. Watson, who was playing behind an injured offensive line and without star running back Nick Chubb, was hammered for 6 sacks and 17 quarterback hits in the Dallas Cowboys' hammering on Sunday. With 2 interceptions, a score, and a pitiful 51.1 passer rating, completed only 169 yards of passing. The less-than-ideal circumstances now involve more legal turmoil. As the franchise quarterback who previously shone with the Texans as one of the NFL's biggest players, the Browns anticipated that Watson would guide them to the elusive Super Bowl promised land. That's why they took the chance. Turmoil off the field, be damned. It turns out that the large sums of money have just reinforced the fact that Watson's fame peaked in Houston, barring a huge reversal on which I wouldn't place a wager. Consider the psychological impact that the off-field drama has had on Watson, who has victimized made references to the courage he earned while facing hardships as a child in Gainesville, Georgia. However, it appears that his decision-making and potentially other underlying issues are linked to the more recent challenges. In summary, the problems he brought from Houston would hardly be considered a certain prescription for success. Naturally, Watson does not see it that way. I'm not going to sit up here and make any excuses for anything that's off the field, he said, referring to the reasons for the problems on the field. Yes, exactly. In other words, you are really putting your football attention to the test.